Howdy, and welcome back to our time-sticking YouTube channel. My name's Jake. You may have noticed I changed my hair. It's a new year and a new me. Also, hope you had a happy holiday. Now, today we're going to be talking about a dive watch that made it into the Guinness World Record books in 2019. So, stick with us through our intro and we'll be maybe settling a bet for some of you out there. Now, getting into the Guinness World Record book has become increasingly competitive since its release in the 1950s. Originally established to settle arguments in pubs, it has turned into an international flagship for all things best. So enters the Omega Planet Ocean Ultra Deep Professional and its 2019 record for the deepest watch dive of all time. Apparently it was also going for the longest name. Omega's Ultra Deep watch has taken wristwatches to new depths with its recent trip down the Challenger Deep portion of the Mariana Trench. It's difficult to fathom how a wristwatch could last all the way down to 10,928 meters, aka 35,853 feet, but the folks at Omega know a thing or two about diving. Having created their first dive watches in the 1930s with their Marine series, Omega has had plenty of time to hone formidable dive pieces. Beating out Rolex's 1960 record of 10,908 meters, Omega has made some real history with their Ultra Deep watch. A feat that was over 50 years in the making is tied to great engineering and literally tied to the deepest submarine dive to date. We are referencing one watch model today, however there were actually three of that same watch model that made it into the ocean. That's right. Full Ocean Depth, or FOD X1, X2, and X3 were the code names for the three Omega Ultra Deep watches that took on the record. Each of these watches was fastened to the vessel dubbed Limiting Factor. While the watches get the horological credit, this particular vessel has expanded manned submarine diving further. Beating even James Cameron's 2012 depth record, the Limiting Factor plans to take on Arctic depths in the near future. Perhaps there will be another wristwatch strapped to the side of that upcoming voyage. When the Rolex Deep Sea Special made the previous record in 1960, it had a similar journey to the three Omegos. Are we allowed to trademark three Omegos? Deep sea level stress testing doesn't necessarily translate to daily pragmatism, but it certainly shows how all forms of engineering influence one another. We're not just speaking figuratively either. Omega's FOD X1, X2, and X3 Ultra Deep watches actually contain materials from the Limiting Factor in their design. Taking a lot of cues from the design of the submarine itself, the watch was also tested with a 25% safety margin in mind. Before ever making it into the water, the Omega Ultra Deep was tested to 15,000 meters depth. These truly impressive watches can obviously put up with some serious rigors. This is made extra impressive due to their relatively slim design and the fact that one of them lasted 2.5 days underwater. That's right, 2.5 days underwater after the actual mission. Coming in at just 28 millimeters case thickness, where many deep dive watches can exceed far beyond 30 millimeters, the crushing pressure of the Mariana Trench did not faze Omega's heroic diver. 60 hours underwater and the Ultra Deep was still ticking. How did this happen? Well, each FOD X Omega was attached to a detachable landing arm. When the Limiting Factor made its way back up, it lost an arm. When all limbs were accounted for, Omega ascended with horological style. Now sometimes when we cover topics like this, the question does arise. Why bother? Why build something that can dive so deep? What's the point? To further ask questions, do folks need to engineer things simply for pragmatic reasons? Or can the message that something sends be worth more than the sum of its uses? Perhaps all these questions don't necessarily need to be answered. In the end, it all comes down to what captivates our imaginations and keeps us invested in our favorite brands. Speaking of investing, Omega will not be releasing any Ultra Deep Professionals to the public for sale. They have mentioned adding similar features to their current dive models, however. Hopefully we can get our hands on something similar in the near future. Whether one dives or not, the sheer toughness is something to be admired, for collectors and bystanders alike. We've covered plenty of dive features and dive watches in the past, but do you have a favorite? Did you hear about this before we made this video? Let us know in the comments below. We're always happy to hear about what's going on in the community.
Hello, and thanks for watching our YouTube video today. If you enjoyed it,
please give it a like, and you can find similar videos right here. For more new and interesting content from Times Ticking on our channel, please subscribe at the link here. And for more information about wristwatch repair and watch maintenance generally, you can find us at timesticking.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.